This one door had a little bit of a chip at the bottom, so I'm just gonna take it out maybe a little bit further, and I'm using my angle grinder to clean underneath, take out a bit of material under here, and I'll wrap some fiberglass, try and get my line nice and straight again. And then these, on both doors, these panels came away. Somebody tried to, I don't know, I think they tried to use epoxy, but unless you take the doors off, there's no way you're going to get it to really take. You can see where it kind of grabbed a little bit here and there. In here they got a lot in, but again, it just didn't hold. So I'll grind all that out and go from there. I've got it prepped, and I got to do such a small repair, like just this little piece. And I hate making small batches of mixing small batches of resin. So it says for really small batches, 1 ounce for 10 with 10 drops of hardener. Well, I don't have any way of measuring that small. But I remembered I still had these, and I don't use these anymore. I'll never use these ever again. That's my perfect measuring device. Once I filled that up, I realized, wow, that's a lot of resin for that little piece. So I'm going to try to do 1/2 ounce, and I think that's going to be pretty close to 1/2 ounce. So it has to be saturated in there. Once it looks like that and there's no white spots, then you can apply it. Okay, that should do it.
And the Washington Capitals are back in the series, winning in overtime, 3-13 in Shattenkirk from just.
Here's the part that sucks. I took what was just a small, well, it was a fairly small little chip break in the fiberglass, but it was pretty noticeable on the car. And I took it from this little area here, and with all this resin now, by the time I finish the repair, I'm going to be somewhere out into this area. So it's getting harder now to, like, I'm by no means a painter. So this is going to be tough to try and blend and hide. But I'm going to try and scrape away. Oh no, that's already set. Okay. Oh, there we go. I'm going to try and use a Alpha blade and cut this down before it sets too hard. And hopefully I can just use very fine, like, well, I'll probably start with 600 grit. And not take this paint off like too far out. So that should work. That should work nicely. Bondo can be a body man's greatest sin. I finally ground all this out, and we're good all along here. It's solid. It's solid, even right down to here. But clearly, this area caught a lot of water. This section here, that's actually the hardware. So the door skin rotted right out. Rotted out here, 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 here. This is gone completely. And the problem is, problem is, because they didn't address the rust issue, they just bought, well, they probably tried to clean it as much as they could without doing a proper cutout, without taking the hardware out and cleaning the rust on the hardware. They bondoed over the whole thing, and man, it was actually, oh, I cut myself. It was pretty thick in areas. But yeah, this didn't last. I think this paint job was done 2008, 2009. So it didn't last that long. And fact is, none of this was noticeable, except there was a couple of little bumps in the paint. And as I started to dig, there's these few little bumps here and there. This is what you see underneath. Brutal. And everything I'm peeling, that's just the skin, the door skin. That's not the hardware. The hardware, like the backing plates, are a lot thicker, so they're okay like that. I will remove the hardware, take off the rust, grind it down, paint it, rust protect it. But yeah, man, it's so sad that a couple extra hours would have made this last a hell of a lot longer. So this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, thank God, because man, I don't need any more problems with these doors. I still have to deal with this and this. This came out good. It's nice and solid. I have a good working point now, so I'm just gonna hit it with the grinder, make a nice straight line, and then I'll build that up with Bondo too. I give credit to whoever did the body work on this. It was slick. If it wasn't for the rust, like the moisture over the years pushing out the Bondo, the rest of the work was really slick. They actually did do a really good job when they repaired this whole section. So now I'm going to make sure I have a gap all the way around so I can get in and do a proper rust treatment. The resin's dry now. I just took a piece of tape to get a rough idea where the line should be. I'm just going to cut off the excess. So now I'm ready to apply some Bondo and smooth it all out. So I got this cut down nice and smooth. I'm onto the Bondo stage, and I need so little. Again, man, it's kind of tough mixing these small batches. Yeah, that was less than 4 minutes. So I went way too much with the hardener, but it didn't matter. To my cardboard template is to start with a thin sheet of paper and a pencil. Yeah, probably can't really show this, but yeah, this will work, kind of. I can't do this one-handed, but basically I'm just going to use the pencil to get my rough design. Then I can transfer the paper to the cardboard. And yeah, I'll have a good temp. Doing this, I figured out the easier way. As long as your hands are dirty, you can just rub the edge into the paper. So anyway, now I know for next time. So my little template is becoming reality. Just have to cut this out, weld it in. I think it's gonna be pretty much seamless when I'm done. We'll see.